According to Military One Source, as of 2021, 1/5 of Air Force members are women. Airman First Class Erin Corley's sister had the job and decided to follow in her footsteps. Corley says she wanted to do something bigger and fly while serving.
Females, I feel like, really should come into career fields, whether they're male dominated or not.
A1C Tia Richard flew into the field because a family member was in it. As with most jobs, she says she had challenges. She says some of the newer recruits challenged her without respect to her work.
Me personally, when I have brought things up, they have gone out of their way to help me with it.
Corley says while she was training in Texas, Washington, and other states, she noticed variation in how she was spoken to, as if with kid gloves.
They think with females that we tend to be more emotional and you can't say that to us, and I saw a lot of that.
Lieutenant Colonel Amanda Filowich joined the military in 2004, and although women hold leadership positions at the base, she's currently the only female commander.
I'm confident now that I know how to get along with a variety of different people, but it started from a place of kind of not being like everybody else.
She says when she started out, the force wouldn't have been able to cycle female crews all month because there weren't enough women in the field. Captain Christy Allen says a major focus currently in the Air Force is female fitment.
We've been working on getting helmets that fit a little bit better, flight suits that fit better, all kinds of things, and we're making strides.
Lieutenant Colonel Filowich says there's still work to do, but the force has come a long way.
And that's not a knock on men or anything. It's not a knock on where we come from or what we believe or anything. It's just that was the culture that kind of surrounded me at the time.
All 4 women say they've had family in the military, and that influenced their decision to join. On Minot Air Force Base, I'm Crystal Quao reporting for your news leader. Most of us were shuffled into schools 5 days a week throughout our school careers, but that's not the case for these White Shield students. Logan Adams, 7th grader and basketball player, began the 4-day experience with White Shield School in 2020.
I go to tournaments every weekend, and I would be missing a day of school sometimes.
He says he's liked the change. Sunny Ortega, 7th grader, is on the same page.
I spend my Fridays sitting in my room, talking to my mom, playing around with my brother.
Besides the students, 7th grade teacher Shauna Knife says the flexibility helps the job not take such a heavy toll. Knife says before she used weekends to prep and plan.
To have a little more me time and self-care time as a teacher, which you need.
Superintendent Wayne Fox says they started taking this policy seriously, not only so students and parents could make other commitments, but for teacher retention as well. Fox says they were losing 3 or 4 teachers annually.
I think rural schools, need to do almost everything just to recruit teachers at this point.
Now, he says, the average is 1.
Teachers haven't complained about it. Students definitely haven't complained about it.
Fox says in the beginning, parents complained because of their work schedules, and says as a parent himself, he understood.
It has worked out very well, due to our Boys and Girls Club, due to our fitness, our community center.
He says the pay barely changed too because the teachers are hourly workers, and sometimes they stay long after students have left to prepare for the next day. In White Shield School, I'm Crystal Quao reporting for your news leader. Kids and the adults alike tinkered with the simple yet intricate exhibits at Friday's dedication of the Magic City Discovery Center. McKenna Jensen says that as a musician, it's fun for her to tune into the sound and stare.
I'm a musician myself, so it's really nice to explore with new things, and I'm just really creative with light, and it's fascinating to me.
It is cool.
The center is a decade in the making, a $14 million project that's finally come into fruition. Former board president Karen Rasmussen says she was elated.
It gets the inner Fred Rogers going, welcome to my neighborhood.
The Science Museum was built with the contribution of a $6.3 million grant from the Department of Defense's Defense Community Infrastructure Pilot Program. Colonel Kenneth McGee, commander from the 91st Missile Wing, says future participation in STEM doesn't begin when teens turn 18.
It starts with facilities just like this. It starts with the ability to educate our children in STEAM.
The Minot Area Community Foundation gave the project $750,000 a few years ago. Wendy Keller fought back emotions when expressing her gratitude to everyone involved in bringing the center to life, including the more than 50 designers and fabricators.
I want to thank everyone that has helped us along this journey because we truly could not be where we are today.
Mayor Tom Ross says he did not have this when he was a kid.
My STEM project was to go to Sears and get a cardboard box and go cardboard sliding down the coulees in Jim Hill.
And yes, it's technically for children, but adults can have fun too. In Minot, I'm Crystal Quao, reporting for your news leader. Sophia Hughes comes to Brace Saddlery and Western Wear for comfortable shoes when she's riding horses.
And I guess I buy one pair and I kind of wear them to death.
Hughes says her main issues tend to be the leather. Once it wears out, the shoes are gone. Store owner Greg Nikitenko says the quality of the leather also determines how long those boots last.
There's maintenance there that you have to care for it so it'll last a long time, but if you do that, you can get a long, 10, 20 years out of a good pair of leather shoes.
Hughes says she's never gotten a repair before, and she's not sure whether it would be more reasonable, but is open to the idea.
If they could do that and repair that, that would definitely save me the pain of having to break in a new pair.
Joanne Nikitenko says inflation marked up prices on new boots as high as 25%.
Oh, repairing is definitely worth the investment. You're going to get probably another year or two out of your boots.
Greg says the price depends on which part of the shoe breaks. For example, a sole and heel repair on Western boots could cost $100. Sometimes the little gluing and stitching costs $10 to $30.
You bring something in that's going to cost $40 to fix, and you've had them for 2 years, and to buy new ones are $40. Well, you're probably just better off going with and getting a newer pair.
One of the reasons people don't give up damaged shoes is due to how well it fits their feet. In downtown Minot, I'm Crystal Quao, reporting for your news leader. Hairball Haven's director says they took in 467 cats last year, and most of them were adopted.
I come here really just to get my furry fix, and I love this place.
Corbin Smith, who visits from Minot Air Force Base, says she can't have big pets in her small dorm. Visitors pop in during their open house on Thursdays to socialize with the kittens.
She's the sweetest.
Emily Engel, a volunteer who's also getting her vet tech license, says she checks on the cats every day.
You come in thinking that you're going to want the youngest, happiest kitten, and you end up leaving with the grouchiest old man you can find because he'll end up picking you and sitting on your lap and not moving.
Hairball Haven moved into its own facility 2 years ago. Before the move, volunteers fostered the animals in private residences. Natalie Davey, the director, says they now have close to 50 volunteers who help with daily operations, including spaying and neutering.
You gotta get your teeth done, buddy.
She says when she worked at the vet clinic, cats were rarely rescued at the pound.
The majority was euthanized, and that was 20 years ago, and things have changed for the better.
Marilyn Hyder, the adoption coordinator, says they prioritize finding a lifelong home for the rescued animals.
We just had a young man here earlier today looking for a companion for his cat. So I think cats are kind of addicting.
Hyder hopes Hairball Haven becomes addictive for more people who are searching for a forever feline friend. In Minot, I'm Crystal Quao, reporting for your news leader.